Tune into the Shah Peerally Law Show every Thursday at 10 a.m. and every Friday at 12 p.m. right here on Daisy 1170 AM, radio that listens to you.
If you own a property and have a second mortgage on it, and if you want to keep this property and get rid of the second loan, attorney Shah Peerally can help. Call 510-742-5887. Due to the uncertain economy, many people have settled their debts for a fraction of its value. It's recommended to use an experienced lawyer to deal with it. Shah Peerally is an experienced debt settlement attorney and has handled hundreds of such cases successfully. There are no upfront fees for debt settlement. Only when you win, you pay. Call Shah Peerally, attorney at law, at 510-742-5887 or visit yourdebtsettlementattorney.com for a free assessment. This is just an advertisement. No attorney-client relationship is established by this ad. The law does not guarantee success. Call 510-742-5887.
And now, from the San Francisco Bay Area studios, KLOK proudly presents to you the prominent attorney Shah Peerally for the Shah Peerally Law Show, coming at you with over 50,000 watts of power. The Shah Peerally Law Show, where all your views matter.
Hello everybody. Assalamu alaikum, Sastakal, Namaskar to all the listeners. This is attorney Shah Peerally and we are live today. It's the end of the month, the last day of November. We are coming to the end of the year close soon in December, so I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, although I know it was a tough time for a lot of people with all the things going on in immigration, but we just wanted to today to cover some of the topics. So I have today with me Franco on the board. Thank you, Franco, and happy Thanksgiving, belated Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody enjoyed. So I am going to talk a little bit about immigration, not a little bit, a lot about immigration, but at the same time we'll talk a little bit about debt settlement also. But anything I'm going to tell you today is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions. And the number to our office is 510-742-5887. And I apologize for the background noise. I'm doing the show on the phone today, so I wanted to cover certain topics, and we will be opening the line in few minutes. 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. First of all, immigration, I wanted to congratulate the team for some great win on EB1s. As you know, EB1 is very tough to win, but we are lucky to get so many wins on so many victories on the EB1s, and some of them going on really fast, and I wanted to congratulate the entire team for that. And we are talking here about EB1A, the one for people of extraordinary ability. I covered that last week on the Friday show. As you know now, we also have a show on Friday from noon to 1, so please tune in also. And again, today the phone number, we are live, 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565, and we are talking, of course, about immigration. And first of all, I wanted to kind of cover something that a lot of people are worried about, is when they're filing their H-1B based on that memo, that new memo where basically the USCIS adjudicator, the officer, has to look at the H-1B, even if it is an extension or transfer, as if it's a new H-1B. That means basically they're going back in the past and checking every single thing. For example, we are seeing RFEs where they're asking check stubs for past 1 year and even longer than that, since that person got their H-1Bs and or W-2s. What they're trying to do is to find out if those people are on the bench. Being on the bench is allowed, but you have to be paid during that time. That's very important, because a lot of people are on the bench and then they didn't get paid. And now the other problem that we face is if someone is on the bench also, was there an amendment filed? because oftentimes people working, for example, for consulting companies, they will find themselves working with an end client, and the H-1B was approved on that. And later on, the end client was terminated, and that person was just basically on the bench until they get the next client. And during that time, you have to be paid unless you're traveling abroad, or there are some exceptions under the CFR, which most of the time doesn't really work except the travel. So it is important that you make sure that things are really being done properly and covered under different angles when you're filing your H-1B. So again, ladies and gentlemen, the lines are open. You can call. The number to the studio today is 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. And I'm talking now about some other issues that we are seeing, which is becoming a big problem. Of course, is level 1. Level 1 is now is still a problem, but we're dealing with them, and luckily we are getting some approvals, and that's very important. You need to make sure that if you're getting a denial on level 1 issue, you make sure that you call your a lawyer so that you can assess it and see if there is a potential for a motion to reconsider on that. Because since some of the cases under RF itself are getting approved, there's a chance that you might get an approval also on the motion to reconsider. The two kinds mostly of level 1 issues that we are seeing is, number one is an issue where basically they are mentioning that you are not qualified. This job is not a level 1 position because you're too experienced for that, etc., or the job description is too complicated. And the other one is basically that you have a problem with the job as a specialty occupation. What it means in a specialty occupation, and a specialty occupation requires a bachelor's degree and some experience, and not really experience, but the bachelor's degree. And excuse me. So what I was talking about, I'm sorry for that. I'm having some bad allergies right now. But the truth is, the bachelor's degree becomes very important, and many jobs are not really getting any kind of leeway when it comes to filing those H-1B cases. So make sure you run your case by an attorney before you move forward, and also make sure that the attorney knows what they are doing. Let me take one caller. This is Shah Peerally, you're live on air. Hello? Hello? Okay, so we're having some technical issue. I think we lost the line. I really apologize for that. What happens is that everybody calls as soon as I announce the number, so it clogs the line and then we have drops. So please call the number to the studio, 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. And also, if you need any help, if you want a private consultation, the number to our office is 510-742-5887. So I was talking a little bit about those level 1 issues that we are seeing, and it's becoming more and more problem for many people. Let me take one caller, Franco. This is Shah Peerally, you're live in here. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello. Hello, Mr. Shah?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead. You're live in here.
I had a question regarding H1. So now this new excessive scrutiny regarding H1 transfers and H1 renewals, and so what are our options if the case gets denied after an RFP response?
It all depends on your situation. Number one, of course, file a motion to reconsider. The problem with the motion to reconsider is, unfortunately, it doesn't give you any hope of period of stay. That means you're not really kind of maintaining some kind of legal presence. The other option is to refile the case. The problem is that if you're already out of status in terms, let's say, for example, you're filing an extension, right? Let's say your extension expires on November 15th, right? and you get a denial on November 16th, and now if you want to refile, you might not be able to refile because you already missed it by 1 day. So then it becomes an issue. However, there's a way that you can basically claim extraordinary circumstances and refile it and ask the discretion of the USCIS to grant you basically an extension without having to do what we call a consular processing. So now the other option, of course, is to move to another visa. But again, the same problem will happen. If you're already out of status, things are going to be difficult. So at the end of the day, there's no real solution right now, except, of course, those two solutions. And unfortunately, many times when if you're filing a motion to reopen and you win, then you're back on track. But if you're filing a new case and you missed it, what might happen? You might have to leave the country and come back to get your I-94. But the lucky point is that premium is back. You can always file it under premium, and within 2-3 weeks get an approval, and then leave the country and come back. So those are the few options. But of course, even refiling doesn't guarantee the case will be approved. But luckily, I think.
What is the status during the acknowledgement receipt that you get from H1, like for H1 transfer?
Well, that's a period of stay authorized by the Attorney General. So what this does is a time that is allowed people to pretty much stay here. But if it is a transfer filed on time, it has to be a timely transfer. If it is not a timely transfer, then it doesn't really work. If it is filed after your extension, your present H1B is expired, it won't work. So it's a case-by-case basis. There are ways to deal with it, but right now things are getting really, really tight, and it's becoming more and more difficult to kind of deal with them. Although it is highly possible to refile, and then once it's approved, you just leave the country and come back. Now, leaving the country is another problem. So it's a long discussion. I cannot really kind of tell you right now in 2 minutes, but there are options. But the options are very much kind of custom made with the client. So if you have this kind of issue, just give us a call and I'll guide you what needs to be done. Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thanks. Good luck to you. The number is 510-742-5887. I think we have a bunch of callers, Franco. Let me take another one. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here.
So, I have a question. Like, I am on H1 with 140 approved, and my daughter is not born here, but her schooling she's been doing here from kindergarten. So the question is, when she goes to college, under what category will she be coming in? And can she work during her college phase for getting some earnings to pay her tuition fees?
I didn't get your question. So, during college, can she work?
First is, I'm on H1 with approved 140. My child is not born in US. She is born in India, and she's been doing her schooling right from kindergarten. When she was 3.5 years, she came to this country. So when she goes to college, under what category will she be considered? And can she work part-time job during her college?
She will be on H4, right? So H4, no, she cannot work technically. Unless she goes on F1, F1 and take a CPT or something like that. But the H4, no, unfortunately, she cannot work. She can volunteer, for example, with a non-profit. But not every company she can volunteer. It has to, especially if you're in California, it's kind of illegal to volunteer for a profit company. So, but she can do a training and things like that. But she won't be able to get paid, unfortunately, unless she goes on F1 and get a CPT. And that's kind of the unfair part with the H4.
Okay. And what
for children.
During her college, she will be treated as a regular U.S. student, or she will be treated as a different student with her fees all will be different for her?
It's a state by state. You need to talk to the DSO about that. But sometimes you're residing in one state, you're considered kind of in state, not out of state student. Then the cost is pretty much like a citizen who's living there, but it's each school have kind of a different rule, so I don't know the exact answer depending on the school. But most of the time, and the state also, state by state, the rules changes. But usually, like in California, like community college, they might consider her as a resident, so they will put her under the special fee. But otherwise, you might have to pay the international fee, depending what course also you're taking. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good luck to you. Let me take another caller. This is Shah Peerally. You're live on air.
Hi.
Hello.
I think I was put on hold.
Yes, you're live right now. Go ahead.
Okay,
This
sorry.
is Shah.
Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, sure. So I have a question regarding the green card process for parents. So my dad is retired and my mom is working, so she'll be retiring in another 6 months. So is it a good time to process their green card, or do you think we should wait until she retires? Would there be any complications if we apply right now?
I can't hear you. There's a background noise. You say your dad is retired?
Yeah, my dad is retired and my mom is still working, so she'll be retiring in another 6 months. So is it a good time to apply the green card, or should we wait until my mom retires too and then apply the green card for both of them together?
It doesn't really matter, but at the end of the day, you want them to come together, right? So it's better to file together. But you can also file for your mom. They are in India, right?
Yes, yeah.
Well, you can file for both right now. Don't wait for them retires, because anyway, it will take like 8 months to 1 year to get processed. So by that time, your mom will be retired. But it's better to file both at the same time, because you have to file separate petitions. And like that, pretty much they will get hopefully a consolidated interview, and they can come at the same time. Because if you do one first and then the other, then one might get it, the other one not get it, and it will create some issues for you. Okay?
No. Actually, we want to apply for both of them together, but just want to see, like, since she's still working, right? Can we still apply, or legally we are not supposed to apply because she's still Indian government employee?
No. There's no rule on that for U.S. India might have their own rules, but that in U.S., no, you're fine. You're not affected by that. But in India, yes, it might be an issue on their retirement. So you need to double check it in India. Okay?
Okay, sure. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck to you. Let me take another caller, Franco. This is Shah Peerally. You're live on air.
Yep. Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Shah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, thanks for all your support and the work you're doing for the community. You have been always helpful to my questions earlier. Okay. I'm in a
great.
situation,
Thank you
just
so
want
much.
to help. I'm in a situation where I need some suggestions, so hope you can help me. So it's been like more than 8 years in US, and I got 140 approval, and I got like 3-4 extensions also successfully, no issues. But this is the first time I got my H1 extension RFP. I don't know the details yet. What are the RFP details? But the question is, my I-94 is getting expired on December 19th. So, am I eligible, or am I still valid to stay in the US till my RFP response is filed and I get the response?
Yes, that's an excellent question. The answer is yes. As long as the extension was filed timely, that means before the present H1B expires and is pending, you can continue working up to 240 days. You can continue staying after 240 days, but once you reach 240 days pending of the case, you have to stop working. So the answer in short is yes, you are allowed to stay. It's a period of stay authorized. But the only rule is that 240 days. You cannot pause the 240 days and continue working. That's all. Hopefully before that you'll get an answer, and you will pretty much kind of get an approval. So, but you can continue staying even after December 2nd, because it was filed on a timely basis.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Thanks for that one.
Okay.
I have another quick information if you can help. When I went last time to India, I flew. That time I did not get a stamp on the exit from the US. The exit stamp is not there on my passport. Is that a concern, or if it is a concern, can I go and get it rectified from the border security?
No, there's no concern because there's no real exit visa in the U.S. So pretty much even they didn't put a stamp. The fact that when you entered India, probably they put something, or you have a proof you travel. So
yes,
what
I have
happened
entry
is
like a stamp, and I do have like a ticket.
okay. Yeah, then it's okay. What happens is that they probably updated it on their ESTA website. They just didn't update it on your passport, so don't worry about it.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, then.
Good luck to you. You're welcome. Let me see if we have more callers, Franco. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in air. Hello? Hello? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had a lot of callers back to back, and I thank you for basically calling us because that's what really keeps me going, because I run out of topics sometimes, but by you guys calling, it kind of revives my attention, because the way I do my shows, I don't prepare a script or anything. I really go with the flow, and I really appreciate when you call and ask questions, because that kind of gives not only helps you but help other people when they hear the answers. And again, everything I'm telling you today is purely educational in nature. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions. Now, we were talking, and of course the lines are still open. The number to the studio, 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. The number to our office is 510-742-5887. The website to check is attorneyonair.com, attorneyonair.com, one word, or PERRallyLaw.com. So this is Attorney Shah Peerally again. We're live, like I said. Today is November 30th, and we're talking about immigration. And right now, as you may have noticed, RFE is becoming a big issue, and that's becoming our day-to-day work now. We have a bunch of callers. Franco is telling me, let me take a couple of callers. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Shah.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Yes, sir. I'm listening to you. You're welcome.
Thanks for taking my call. I have filed for citizenship, and I'm waiting till since February. But at the same time, I want to apply for green card for my mom. So should I wait till I get my citizenship, or can I get started now? And would there be any changes in terms of processing if I'm a citizen versus green card holder?
Okay. Number one, you cannot file anything as a green card holder for your parents. You have to be a citizen. If you file it now, the case will be rejected. So you have to wait when you become a citizen. There's no way out of this. So I don't recommend filing, and you cannot kind of upgrade it or anything, because there's no provision in the law for a green card holder to apply for their parents. Okay. So you have to wait till you become a citizen. Then the next day you can file. Okay.
But I'm waiting till February. From February, does it take that long to get an interview? Typically, I thought it.
Yeah, it's taking around 8 to 9 months, depending where you're located, and if they have a security background issue, it's taking 1 year, 1.5 years in some cases. But you should get an interview soon. Just if you don't get anything, well, I would recommend you call the 1-800 number on the USCIS website and check what's going on there. Okay.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you, Shah.
Good luck to you. You're welcome. Let me take another caller, Franco. This is Shah Peerally. You're live on air.
Thank you, Shah. Thank you for taking my call.
Welcome.
I have a quick question. I have a approved PERM and I-140, and I'm planning to join a new employer. So I know that you can port that for priority date. My question is, does the job code used in the old PERM has to be exactly same in the new PERM, or can it be same with a similar occupation? For example,
you're filing a new labor, right? Because you change your job, right? You're not filing because you don't have an I-45 file, right?
No, just I-140. I'm waiting for my priority date.
Then it doesn't really matter what job they put you on, as long as you meet the qualifications. So it's not like you have the first one PERM file and, for example, engineer, the next one you file as computer programmer, things like that, it will affect it. It doesn't. As long as you have the qualifications for it, it doesn't matter which job. The only time you need same or similar is when you are beneficiary of AC-21, I think section 104, where basically you are transferring the entire case under AC-21 from one company to another. But that only happens if you have an I-485. So at this point, you don't have to move to a same or similar position. Okay?
Oh, okay. That's great. Thank you very much. So that was
good luck.
Okay,
to you.
perfect.
Okay,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Let me take another caller. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here.
Hi, Shah Peerally.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Durga. I have a question regarding
Hi,
applying green card for my parents. So, does it actually, is it faster for them to get a green card when they're physically in the U.S. or as opposed to them being in India? And also, yeah, a very quick question, follow-up question is, how long is the normal wait time these days?
Okay. Let me answer one by one. Number one, it is faster to get it inside the U.S. because you're dealing with one department and the adjustment of status. However, there are its own risk in there. One of the risks, of course, is that if they believe that you violated the immigrant intent under the B1, B2 visa, which you're coming on, if you come on an H1B or something, that's not a problem because it's a dual intent visa. But if you come on a visitor visa, then they can say there's a presumption of fraud. And actually, they started putting emphasis on this. And they changed the presumption of fraud time from 60 days to 90 days. So there's no law on this, by the way. It's just something that is accepted by them. So it's recommended if someone is coming here to wait the 90 days, basically. However, the entire situation they will look at is what were your intent when you entered. If someone is entering, for example, and then after a couple of weeks they say, okay, you know what, I don't want to go back and I will file a case, you're fine. But if you enter with the intention to actually file a case and they discover that, you can be charged of fraud and misrepresentation under the B1, B2 visa. So there is its own risk. As for the National Visa Center, as for the other option, consular processing, while they are in India, those issues are not present. But the other issues is that it's a little bit longer, and you're dealing with two departments, Department of Homeland Security and Department of State. So it becomes double work. But each one has its own advantage and disadvantage. The second one, its advantage is that it's a clear-cut case. That's the normal way to do it. And when they come directly on the green card. The first one, where adjustment of status is filed, usually if you file for work permit, you get a work permit, then you wait for the approval. But it's definitely shorter usually under adjustment of status. But it has its own risk, so you have to be careful. Okay?
I see, okay. And what is the typical time difference between somebody physically here and as opposed to someone in India?
It's around 6 month to 8 month difference.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Shah Peerally.
Good luck to you. If you need help, just give us a call, 510-742-5887. This is the number to our office. And the number to the studio is 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. Do I have any caller, Franco? This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here.
Hello?
Hello? Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi.
To you. You're right.
So I have a question. Couple of months back, my employer, they filed for my H1B extension, and it was until 2020 of November. But the thing is, recently I got laid off, and they gave me a 2 months notice period, until January. So my question is, how long can I stay, after the 2 months notice to find a job?
Well, you have 60 days grace period, starting from the date you were terminated, right? So not the kind of extra time they're giving you, because that's considered kind of a benefit when you're leaving. So the 60 days technically applies from the date when they terminate the H1B. So the question is, when do they terminate the H1B? So in order to terminate the H1B, according to the 20 CFR, you have to meet 3 requirements. Number one, you have to inform the employee. Number 2, you have to inform the USCIS. And number 3, you have to pay a ticket for them to go back. So there are always arguments on that, and people, depending what you want to claim, some people claim, hey, hold on a second, they didn't do the right thing by terminating me, not telling me. So that means that time doesn't start running until there is an official termination from USCIS. So there is a 60 days grace period. So to be on the conservative side, you should count that 60 days from the date when you were terminated. But if you don't get any job, then you'll have to leave the country and apply from there.
Okay, in that 60 period, in the 60 days grace period, even though I'm out of status, I can still find a job.
Well, yeah, of course. If you find a job, you can just do a transfer. That's why they put it there. Okay.
Okay, and so I have another question, regarding, if I have a classification as like a software developer, right? And so can I apply related positions, or do I need to apply it for the same type of role?
No, you don't have to apply for the same type of role. It's a bit like what the caller asked me earlier for PERM. As long as you meet the requirements of a bachelor's degree, and you meet the requirements for the position, you have the certificates for it. So it doesn't have to be the same position.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let me take another caller, Franco. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here.
Hey, Shah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for the awesome show. So I have a question. I'm on a H-1B, and I wanted to know, can I be on a board of directors for a non-profit while I'm on H-1?
Are you getting paid?
No.
Is it related to your work or something very independent?
Oh, it's independent, it's a non-profit.
Yeah, you should be able to get in there because it's more like social work or a hobby. But just make sure you're not doing the work there that you do as basically you are an engineer, right? So avoid that because that might be construed as if you're basically working. While you don't have an H-1B with this organization. But yeah, voluntary work is just like going to the temple, going to the mosque, things like that. So it's nothing, it's allowed. But once you go with a profit company or try to file a regular, seize a regular H-1B, then it's a different ball game. But right now you're okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Good luck to you. Yeah. Let me take another caller. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here. Hello. Okay. So I don't think I have more callers. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the little background noise because I'm doing the show remotely. And I just wanted to remind you, tomorrow we have another show at noon to 1. So feel free to tune in. Please tune in on Daisy 1170 AM, and you can listen online also at KLOK1170.com. So we were talking, of course, about immigration. Now we're going to shift gear to debt settlement because that's also related. But we will still be taking calls, by the way, on immigration. So the lines are still open, 408-912-5565. But before I move on, let me take another caller. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here.
Hello? Yes.
Yes,
sorry, I'm calling back and I missed a question. In case in the future company, if I get laid off again, right? So will I have if I use up this almost the 50 days or something, so if I get laid off again, will the 60-day period get reset or not?
Yeah, it gets reset. Every time you get laid off, you have 60 days grace period. It's not like a one-time deal you use it. Okay?
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, good luck to you. So I think the call earlier and they were talking about the 60 days grace period. This is important because that grace period is a little bit confusing sometimes. Let me take another caller, Franco. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here. Hello? 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 Yes, go ahead. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. This is Shah. You're live in here.
Hello?
Hello? Yes, I think she cannot hear me, Franco. Let me move on to the next caller. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here.
Hi, I have a question.
Hi.
So, my wife has a 140 approved, and she got laid off recently. So, can she go back to H4 under my? And
Yes.
I had one more
recently,
question follow up. Like
within, let me answer that, and then we'll talk about the second one. So within 60 days, she is eligible to file for a change of status to H4. After the 60 days, then she has to leave the country, get the H4, and then come back. Okay.
Okay.
So
And while she was on H4, can she go back to H1 again, change of status?
Yes. The way it works is like a new extension or a transfer. If she gets another job, of course, it will be a transfer, but it's not really a transfer. What it is, it's a new employment, cap exam, moving status from H4 to H1. And if it is done under premium, it gets approved within 2-3 weeks. You get an approval. She doesn't have to leave the country as long as she was in status when the H1 is filed. So yes, she can go back to her H1.
So even though if she has completed more than 6 years in US on H1.
Okay, that's a different issue. That's a different issue. If she has completed more than 6 years in the US, then she needs to have an I-140 approved or a pending labor of 365 days. If she doesn't have it, she cannot go back on H1. She has to stay on H4.
She has 140 approved, but she got laid off from that company. So
yeah, it doesn't matter. You can still use that I-140 as long as you have one I-140 and they have not canceled it. And if they have not, and since if 180 days has passed, they cannot even cancel it. So as long as she has one I-140, she can use it to do a transfer and extension. So no problem. The I-140 becomes very important in this case. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck to you.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Let me take another caller, Franco. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here. Hello. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a lot of callers today, and I apologize for. Unfortunately, whenever people call, they all call at the same time, and then the lines sometimes get dropped. So I apologize for that. So I was talking about immigration. Now I'm going to shift gear, like I said. We're going to talk a little bit about debt settlement. Debt settlement is basically a process where we can get you out of debt without having to file for a bankruptcy. A lot of people are scared of bankruptcy, or they don't even qualify, but they want to get out of debt. And this is where we come in. We'll negotiate those debts for you, have a lump sum payment, and usually get rid of the debt. It gets forgiven. For example, right, 100,000, you might just be paying 10, 20,000, and then the rest of the case is good. So I recommend that you basically kind of make sure that all this are done properly. Let me take another caller. I think I have another caller. This is Shah Peerally 11 here. Hello? Okay, I'm losing the caller, so I'm so sorry. I think it's a little bit, everybody's tired today. So I apologize for that. So ladies and gentlemen, I think I was talking about debt settlement, getting out of debt. One of the things that a lot of people are, like I said, are worried about is to not file bankruptcy, and they don't qualify for bankruptcy, and they want to get out of their debts, and we can negotiate, and we don't do a debt consolidation. What we do is basically kind of negotiate the debt, cut it to a fraction, and then get out of you out of the debt. And you can check more about this on yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, the blog yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, and you can call our office. We can do an assessment, 510-742-5887. Let me take one more caller. This is Shah Peerally. You're live in here. Okay, so I'm losing. Okay, so I apologize for that. So today it seems like lines are getting clogged. So let me talk a little bit about. I continue on the debt settlement. One of the things we see a lot, people tend to kind of run away sometimes when the debts become overwhelming, and they think that they basically will bury their head in the sand and the debt will go away. it doesn't really work like this, because after a while the debt will be sold and ultimately someone is going to sue you for that. So you need to get rid of them if you want to pretty much down the road protect your credit. You're already in bad credit, you don't want it to get worse, or you don't want to get sued, because once they sue you, they can and they win, they will garnish your paycheck, put lien on your property, etc., etc. Let me take another caller quickly, Franco. This is Shah Peerally, you're live in here. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hi, Shah.
Hi. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thanks a lot for the very informative show. I have a quick question.
Thank you so much. Yes, go ahead.
I'm on H1, and my company has filed a green card for me, and I've crossed the I-140 stage. I'm actually planning to go back to India for good, but I just wanted to know, is there any way my green card, this thing can stay, and if I decide maybe a year or two later, can I come back and continue with the same this thing, or is that not possible?
Yeah, it is possible. A lot of people actually do that. As long as the company is keeping the I-140 for you and the job for you, and when your dates become current, you come back, or even earlier than that, you should be fine. You can just resume on that. So the I-140 doesn't go away, but just because you leave the country, so you're fine.
Okay, because they will terminate me here in the U.S. and they will actually give an offer back in India. So when I go back, will that not be considered like I have not worked here for some time?
Well, no, because what they're terminating is your H-1B status, not the I-140. So as long as they keep the I-140 alive and the offer alive down the road, because it's for future employment, you are fine. You can use the same I-140. Okay?
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Good luck to you. So I won't be able to take more callers now, ladies and gentlemen, and I wanted to thank Franco for really working with me. I've been really exhausted, and recently with all the things, pretty much even working on Thanksgiving. So I really apologize for sometimes having basically kind of when I was talking in the middle, sometimes I miss things because I have two things in my mind, and it's kind of a little bit overwhelming. So I just wanted to kind of recap for today. We are seeing a surge in RFEs, like someone was mentioning earlier, that they have been here for years, they never seen an RFE, but now they're getting RFEs. And the RFEs sometimes are really ridiculous, but at the same time, some of the RFEs are also of a very particular nature. They are pretty much digging from the beginning of your H-1B, etc. So I just wanted to let everybody know, if they need help on immigration, they can call us at 510-742-5887. They can check the website attorneyonair.com, and I also recommend that you check the blog yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, yourdebtsettlementattorney.com. And the other thing that is very, very important, I want to make sure people understand. Right now, things are very, very tough. That doesn't mean you give up and you don't fight your case. You should fight your case. However, fighting your case also means getting the right help. A lot of people out there are pretty much kind of selling things that are not possible. So be very, very careful, because people are in the panic, and they might be paying the wrong people. And as the USCIS say, getting the wrong help doesn't really help. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to thank you. Tomorrow we have this other special show from noon to 1, and please tune in and have your friends tune in. And also, I wanted to thank Franco for helping us today. And I think Amit will continue now. Is Amit there? Amit, are you there?
Hi, Shah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Amit, you have 10 minutes to go, so I'll let you explain a little bit debt settlement and properties issues in Punjabi and Hindi. Good luck to you,
sure.
Ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next Thursday at the same time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Shah, and Sat Shri Akal, to all the listeners.